them. There's plenty of like actual pedophiles like EDP or whatever that you could be focusing your evil on.
Do you know that not knowing pedophiles knowing each other? Do you know that's the only reason that Jared Fogle, fucking Subway Jared, got caught?
Yeah, he was in a big network of like child porn sharing and
this was the weird shit. Like, see when it first came out, you know, Subway Jared is a fucking nonce, you know, man, and everyone's like, oh, I like my children like I like my sub 6 and 12, and like all this type of shit, right? The thing that was doing the rounds was that fucking phone call with that fucking journalist. Did you hear that phone call?
No, right? I never listened to it.
Basically, Jared used to do trips to like schools because at first I just decided to read up on this shit one night because I thought this recorded phone call is why he got fucking caught, right? But he was doing trips to schools to teach kids to eat fresh and eat healthy, and he did the thing with the pants and like all that shit, man, right?
Yeah.
But he was standing next to a journalist, and apparently he started making like really inappropriate comments about the schoolgirls, right? And then it was this whole sort of, I haven't decided if I'm joking or not. I'm trying to gauge how you feel about this, like weird shit, right? The journalist kind of thought, right, something's here, so I'm going to like pretend to be into this shit and everything. And then she ended up having like a bit of a relationship with Jared. There was text, there was emails, and there was a phone call. And I'll say to anyone watching, don't listen to the phone call. Do not listen to the phone call. It's fucked up, right?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Is that when she's like picking it out of him, like what he's into and stuff?
Yeah, and she's getting him to say, he's trying to get her to say like sexy stuff about that type of thing. And he says some horrible shit. And by the way, the journalist deserves an award for being able to stay in character throughout the whole thing, because there's even sometimes that she almost breaks, right? You see, he says something horrible and you hear her going like, oh, that's hard. Like, she's trying her fucking hardest right now. See that phone call? That happened 4 years before Jared actually got caught.
Wow.
Did Jared actually have interactions with real life children, or was it all about pictures and stuff?
There was allegedly he liked to go on holiday to Thailand a lot. So yeah,
so he was molesting children.
Serious question: is it legal there?
No, it's not legal. But apparently, it's one of those things where if you pay the police enough, apparently they look away. Yeah, it's fucked up. But basically,
that is fucked up.
How much?
I
mean, this is.
Are we talking about like 125,000 made up currency? Is one of those
$10? That's a lot of money to them.
This is so hilariously on the nose. I'm looking at his transcripts, and it's like he went into this with the goal of like, I want to make sure the prosecutors are home by dinner. Like, it says fucking... like. There's a prostitute, pretend one, and he said to them, "I'm horny again. Is your Asian friend available?" Then he followed up with, "I can pay you a little finder's fee. I'll pay you big for a 14 or 15-year-old." Then they said, "Maybe," and he said, "Depends on if they can prove their age. If they can, and you can get me 16 or below, I'll give you 400 at least." He asked again, "Do you have access to any young girls, like 15 or 16? Because that's what I crave. I would hook you up nicely if you did." Like that, he just out and out saying, like, looking for kids.
Right away, what I took from that.
See those messages? Sorry.
What right away when I took from that? Jared is not a baller at all. He was like, "I'll pay you big," and mentioned $400 fucking dollars. When I heard that, I was like, what, like $7,000 to $15,000 is what I was picturing in my head, that you'd like slip somebody for like finding you a 16-year-old Asian girl. He's talking about $400 fucking dollars.
Cheapskate.
This was the weird shit. Like, see that phone call? You would imagine, like, once that phone call comes out, get like, that's it, it's done, it's fucking over, right? Oh. He's fucked. But
he lost all that weight for nothing.
She gave it to fucking Subway. She fucking, and then basically because she also gave it to the feds.
Gave it to Subway.
And the feds went, "That's not enough for us to go on. He's just talking about shit. He's not actually doing it." Right? But that should have been it over. But then Subway apparently were getting like complaints. Apparently he was making really inappropriate comments about staff and their children and blah, blah, blah and all that. And that these date back to like 2004. Right? And then the Subway apparently said something like, "Well, technically he's not an employee, so like we can't fire him."
Mhm.
and all this shit, right? Weird shit like that. Now, the only reason he actually got caught years later is I think it's those messages you just read out. Another guy got caught, and this guy was like a manufacturer. He like made the stuff, right? So I don't want to talk about it, but basically, he had a computer with all of his customers that he was dealing with it in. It was like selling it all to and all that stuff. But he was also the co-owner of a charity with Jared, and when they caught that guy, they went onto his computer and found the messages to Jared of him trying to actually solicit and then sending pictures, blah, blah, blah. And that's the thing is, seeing those 4 years after that phone call, who fucking knows what Jared got up to?
Oh, a lot.
Who
That's
fucking
why
knows?
Jimmy Johns, god damn it. A subway pedophile.
Quiznos doesn't
fuckers.
employ rapists.
No, they don't. Dude, can I just say Quiznos is so delicious. That #1 sandwich, they put that olive paste on there. That's some good shit.
They should
thing's
change their
so good.
tagline to like 0 children raped since 1962.
I would
Like,
love
whatever
that.
Like whatever
Yeah.
the founding date was.
No.
Subway-
Like it would be like 27,000 days without a child rape.
yeah.
I was just going to say, everyone should probably like focus on going to a sandwich shop that doesn't promote a pedophile, and everyone's like, oh, but their sandwiches are really good. The sandwiches
Do
are
it for
fucking great,
Chick-fil-A.
man. Yeah.
It was that time where like Subway convinced everyone that's like, I'm trying to lose weight. I need a loaf of bread. I need a whole loaf of bread and turkey with an impossibly low amount of protein in it. That's what I need.
Sure,
Oh,
right.
their meat is so depressing.